here's Billy right now. Hey, what's going on? Well, it was about this time, actually about 2 years ago, around February, and we met Tim Martin, who plays keys on the record, and he has a place called the Mad Cherry Barn. I went in, I remember asking Tim, I was like, hey man, can I have like a batch of songs, can I just like come in, finish them, you know, record some demos or whatever? And he's like, yeah, so I pretty much locked myself in there for like 3 days. And I cut a bunch of demos, probably like 5 or 6 of the songs on the record. And I finished them, and then that was kind of the birth of everything. You know, Walk in the Woods, we pretty much rehearsed everything to a T before we went into the studio, so we knew everything we were going to do, we knew the arrangement. This one was almost the opposite, which was kind of cool. We pretty much had little to no rehearsal time. We went in and we were just like, let's press record and see what happens. We were chasing that authentic feel, you know, that live sound, that, you know, there's something special, I think, when you're hearing something for the first time and your ears aren't like super familiar with it, and you're kind of trying to digest it, and at the same time when you're creating, you know, a part or a guitar part or something like that, you're kind of listening for the first time, but then you're also just feeling, you know, as you're digesting it, you're that first impression. I think there's something special about that, you know, feels so new and fresh and clean and good. And so I think we were chasing that. It just, from seeing the songs from, you know, essentially me playing an acoustic guitar on my couch, you know, and seeing it from there until now, it's kind of mind-blowing. So I mean, the album is a story, and I didn't mean it intentionally. You know, we didn't start out thinking I knew exactly what these songs were all going to be about, and it isn't biographical or anything like that. It's not exact. I didn't, you know, it's not all about me, but there were a lot of things that were inspired by things that I went through in my early 20s, and the album kind of starts there, and then it kind of leads up, you know, to the present. You know, it's almost like a therapy session where, you know, I write the lyrics and then I don't even really know what it's about, but then I look at it after the fact and I'm like, whoa, like this means this, or like this means that, and you know, so kind of it was almost like a big reflection. I hope people interpret it in their own way, but I think the album in itself is really about, you know, improving, you know, trying to make the best of your lifestyle, but also, like, I think reflecting is really important part of life. Just trying to reason with, you know, making difficult decisions or making bad decisions. I think, you know, the first song, Black Eyed Susan, where it's a little more darker, and then all the way to Slowing Down, where you're kind of like, hey, like, slow down, buddy, like, let's make things simple here, and, you know, let's look back and let's try to improve. You know, it doesn't, and when I say improve, it doesn't have to be like, I have to improve myself, and because I think there is some sort of stipulation with that, where when you're constantly worrying about improving yourself, I think you almost never think you're good enough. And I think there's some truth to that, but I also think that, you know, you just need to be calm, cool, collected, you know, and slowly improve yourself. Don't put stress on yourself. It's just like, you know, slow and steady wins the race, you know. If you look at the album cover, actually, a lot of the animals, or a lot of the animals and objects, or everything on there essentially has to do and pertains to a song and kind of symbolizes something. And if you see that turtle on there, that definitely goes along with slowing down, where it's just like the slow and the steady wins the race. I think that's a huge part of what, you know, the Kenny Brothers Band is really all about. Oh, nice.